I'll just go ahead nonetheless because I think they want to go live.
Please share your screen again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I need to share my screen again. Let me do that again. Oh.
When you share your screen, you can please go live. Or if we are not live yet, I'm not sure we are live.
Live.
We are live.
Okay, very good. Okay, you can share your screen again and then continue. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen again. Just give me a second to do that. I think that's my second one. Okay, so here you have it. Can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for the feedback. I said that she has served as the head of African Women's Networking's Team of Alliance, Team Africa, ASAE, a teacher trainer with Digital Education Africa Network, an advisory board member in Education Matters for Native Coders, Sweden, and Starlight Education Group, UK, and Africa's ambassador for the Ottoman Institute, responsible for connecting universities with Ottoman Institute Artificial Intelligence taught courses. Caroline is a passionate educationist, leader, and a top voice on STEM education matters in Africa, with a passion to advance gender equality and inclusion in and through STEM. Caroline has been an active speaker on matters revolving STEM and gender equality and has been invited in conferences such as African Union's first Pan-African Conference on Girls and Women's Education in Africa, where she was among the Youth Edu Innovators in 2024, and also invited as a speaker at the Continental STEM Conference organized by UNESCO and African Union, where she led talks on advancing gender equality and inclusion in and through STEM. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a virtual round of applause. Ms. Caroline, can you confirm that you're here with us?
Yes, I am here with you.
You're welcome. Going on to the next speaker, this is going to take a short while. Okay. This is Dr. Chino, so I hope my screen is still being shared. Yes, here you go. Our next speaker for today is Dr. Chinomso Uzoechi. He's a dedicated public health professional, educator, and researcher with extensive experience in health promotion, community well-being, and public health education. She currently serves as a lecturer at the Department of Health and Social Care at Coventry University, London, where she teaches and mentors future health and social care professionals. She holds a PhD in public health, health promotion, and a Master of Public Health from Babcock University in Nigeria, as well as an MSc in Public Health and Community Wellbeing from Anglia Ruskin University, UK, all backed with distinction. Our research focuses on adolescent mental health, menstrual health literacy, depression-related health-seeking behavior, and school-based health interventions. She has published widely in peer-reviewed journals and contributed to public health discourse across the world. Dr. Uzoechi has also served in various public health and teaching roles, including positions as a public health promotion and well-being officer and a science teacher. With a strong passion for promoting healthy behaviors and improving health outcomes through evidence-based strategies and community-driven approaches, she has successfully developed and delivered health education programs facilitated community outreach initiatives, and provided expert guidance on workplace health and safety. As a strong advocate for health equity, Dr. Uzoechi is committed to empowering communities and improving access to health information and services. She's passionate about making a lasting impact on community health and well-being through collaborative partnerships, innovative research, and transformative education. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please put your hands together for Dr. Chinomso Uzoechi. Dr. Chinomso, can you please confirm you are also here with us?
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us today.
Welcome.
Moving on to our next speaker for the day. Like I mentioned earlier, this is in no particular order. This is in no particular order. Proceed. We have Dr. Shara Cohen. Dr. Shara Cohen is an accomplished scientist, entrepreneur, and advocate for women in STEM, with a career spanning scientific research, business leadership, and community impact. She's the founder and CEO of Cancer Care Parcel and Moms in Science, two organizations dedicated to providing support, resources, and empowerment for those navigating the challenges of both cancer and STEM careers. With an academic background in biomedical sciences, pathology, and immunology, Dr. Cohen has spent over 20 years in research, contributing to advancements in stem cell transplantation, cancer research, and personalized medicine. She has authored over 100 peer-reviewed scientific publications and has been recognized for her contributions to science and entrepreneurship. Some of her achievements include receiving the award of the British Empire Medal in 2024 for our outstanding contributions to women in STEM and cancer support initiatives, conferment as a Fellow of the Royal Society of Biology, also as a Fellow of the Institute of Biomedical Science, as well as the Royal College of Pathologists, in recognition of her contributions to the field, and founding of Eurocycon, a leading science conference organization that provided global networking opportunities for scientists prior to its sale in 2016. As a woman in STEM leader and a renowned advocate for diversity, inclusion, and equal opportunities in STEM, she has built a platform that supports women balancing STEM careers with family life. Through our latest initiative, the Women in STEM Network, she drives mentorship, collaboration, and leadership development for women worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Shara Cohen. Please put your hands together for her. Virtual hands. Dr. Shara, can you confirm that you're with us here as well?
Yes, I'm here, and thank you for the lovely introduction and for the invitation.
Can anybody hear me?
Thank you. You're welcome.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Did you lose me at some point?
No, we
No.
can hear you.
No.
Okay. And also, so our next speaker,
Ask our mama.
I thought the ground rules said to stay muted.
Yes, it is, please.
Okay, so to our mama, our next speaker for the day is Miss Gloria Inojo Abba. She's a seasoned IT expert, a data scientist, and a statistician with over a decade of leadership and managerial experience. She holds a diploma in electrical electronics engineering, a BTech in information and communication technology, an MSc in information technology from London South Bank University, and is a certified RIT Tech and MBCS member of the British Computer Society. With a strong background in data analytics, Gloria has played a pivotal role in healthcare decision making, previously serving in top management at London Northwest University Healthcare NHS Trust. Okay, and then my screen goes off again. I'm so sorry. I'll go ahead. She analyzed clinical and GP data to inform strategic resource allocation and executive decision making. Currently, Gloria is the CEO of British Community Hospital and Outpatient Clinics, an innovative healthcare initiative for sub-Saharan Africa. She also co-leads Holy Nations International Ministries and is spearheading the establishment of a new diagnostic center in London. Passionate about leveraging data for business impact, she excels in driving customer satisfaction, optimizing operations, and influencing stakeholder decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please put your virtual round of applause for Miss Gloria Eniojo Abba. I call her Mama.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. Finally, because we saved the profile of the host for the last, even though we didn't arrange in any particular order, it happened to be like that. I introduce to you Dr. Samuel Abba. Dr. Samuel Abba is the president of Holy Nations International Ministries and the CEO of British Pathodiagnostics and Biotechnology Company, a distinguished biomedical scientist and senior fellow of the Higher Education Academy, UK. He holds a PhD in biomolecular medicine, specializing in infection and immunity. He is a key executive in leading organizations across the UK and Africa. Dr. Abba is passionate about research and development. His research focuses on biomarker discovery for disease diagnosis and prognosis. More recently, he has been developing affordable diagnostic reagents tailored for the African market, working to reduce reliance on costly Western-controlled medical diagnostics. Beyond the scientific contributions, Dr. Abba is deeply devoted to teaching the Bible. He boldly stands against religious falsehoods and considers it a rare privilege to be properly taught the truth of God's word. He firmly believes that both men and women have equal rights and access to God's grace. He's a strong advocate for gender equality in this new covenant era. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host and the one I call Papa, Dr. Samuel Abba. Thank you. I leave you, Madam Moderator.
You are
I'm
muted.
muted. The mic is muted.
Oh, okay. Okay, like I said earlier, the discussion, we'll be moving over to the discussion now. But before then, let me give a brief introduction. The International Day of Women and Girls in Science, celebrated annually on February 11th, is a global initiative that recognizes the essential contributions of women and girls in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that's STEM. Despite increased awareness, gender disparities persist, with women still represented in many STEM fields due to societal biases, limited access to resources, and insufficient mentorship opportunities to foster greater participation and success for women and girls in STEM. Holy Nations International Ministry organized this 2-hour webinar themed Unpacking Opportunities for Women and Girls in STEM. We're moving over to our discussion question now. And our first question for discussion is going to be an overview of STEM. What is STEM all about? What are the careers that qualify as STEM careers? And I would have one of the panelists, I would have Ms. Caroline Younger to speak on that. Ms. Caroline, are you there? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Yes, so
Okay.
I'll just go straight to respond to that question. So when we talk about STEM, we're actually talking about, it's actually an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But for my organization, I decided to also include arts. And that's why we call it Women in STEAM Initiative, because I believe that there's need for us to also include those students who are not really good in science, but can also incorporate the aspects of skills. They have a skill set in them, and that's why we wanted to include arts. So when we look at the STEM careers, we have different STEM careers. We have engineering, we have medicine, we have actually different data science, and even what we are referring to as robotics engineering. So there are so many different STEM careers, and all these STEM careers, when you look at all of them, they all have the same similarity of being emphasizing on hands-on skills. They really emphasize on the 21st century skills and technical skills, where a student or an individual is required to have skills of problem solving. They're able to solve problems. They're able to come up with something creative. They're critical thinkers, and they're also able to become confident in how they relate. Yeah, so when you talk about STEM careers, we are really looking at the different scope of anything that looks like laboratory, being a scientist, and even working with chemicals, and even a teacher. Actually, for me, I started off my STEM career as a teacher. I taught biology and chemistry, and that's how I found my way through the STEM pathways. Yeah, and I'm an advocate of STEM education for girls. And I have also recently launched a book. I don't know whether we can all see this book is on STEM career pathways. And this book is a booklet that has different STEM careers in it. And it's gives an overview of what it is, what do we have in this STEM career. So I've outlined the different STEM careers. Information security, so software developers, medical scientists, biochemists, operation research analysts, engineers, and I've also given a picture of just a person who looks like what that career is. And basically just to help the girls, because I give this book out to girls just to help them understand the different STEM career pathways. Yeah, and there are so many STEM careers, and so this one is basically just to help the girl child to realize the different STEM career pathways and the need for girls to take up STEM. And also, it also gives, we also have a section where I've outlined just a quote from different females in STEM who just give an overview of what it is to be a data scientist, what it is to be a civil engineer, and what it is to be a mechanical engineer. And also we have one who is a doctor. So it's just a brief, just a quote, a half-page quote that will just guide our girls who will be going through this booklet, and it will help them to understand the different STEM careers. So this is basically a booklet that I give to girls just to help them understand the different pathways and to also help them choose the right pathway for them depending on what interests them the most. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. We will go over to the next discussion question because you've thrown so much light in what you said, the barriers and the challenges. And I would have Dr. Shara to speak on that for us. Dr. Shara.
Hi. Well, there's lots of barriers. And let me I've written some notes about this. So there's so much to talk about with barriers for women, that and these barriers will contribute to the gender gap in science, in STEM. So the most common barriers, I would say, are lack of representation and role models. So women remain underrepresented in many STEM fields, and this is different in different countries as well. So, for example, in the UK, you'll see a large proportion of women in biology, but not in other STEM fields. And I know different countries have different representations, but particularly in leadership positions, the women are underrepresented across the board. There's a lack of a visible role models. Well, this lack of visible role models can discourage young girls from pursuing STEM careers. So that's a big issue. And I would say, I know you asked for what the barriers were, but I've also got some solutions as well. So I would say that the solution to that would be for organisations and educational institutes to actively promote women in leadership roles. They need to highlight scientists and engineers and create mentorship programs where aspiring professionals can connect with experienced women in STEM, for example. You also have gender bias and stereotypes. So you've got society biasing against women in STEM. Society, you see this in the media, in schools, that where society suggests that STEM is more suitable for men. Maths and all the sciences, engineering particularly, is seen to be a male subject. It leads to unconscious biases in hiring and also in promotion and also funding opportunities for women. So there's a solution to that as well, and it's also down to companies and institutions, and they need to implement bias training, educate decision makers, ensure equality hiring and promotion practices, equal hiring and promotional practices. They need to encourage gender neutral language and evaluation criteria in job applications and performance reviews. You also have work-life balance and family responsibilities. So the challenge there is that many women leave STEM careers due to challenges in balancing work with caregiving responsibilities, leading to a leaky pipeline. You have some societies, because what I do is I look globally, and you have some societies where women do very well in sciences, and then they have children and they're not expected to carry on working at all. So you lose the women completely once they've got married and had children. So again, the solution there is for employers to offer flexible work arrangements, parental leave policies, and to support return to work programs. Returning to work programs are very important, because once people have left science for a long time, it's difficult for them to get into the mindset of coming back to work. So women need a lot of help there. And women should also seek peer support networks to help them navigate their career transitions. And then you'll also have, I've got quite a few of these, so I don't know how long I've got. You've got pay and funding gaps. Women in STEM often earn less than their male counterparts and receive less research funding. So I'm not going to go through the solutions because I've got so much to talk about. You've got so this is going to discourage women. You have limited access to mentorship and networking. Many women in STEM lack access to mentorship and professional networks, which can limit career advancement. And the reason that you have that is because you've got more men in that space, there's more male mentorships and more professional networks for men. And the professional networks in specific areas are male dominated, so the women feel excluded. You'll also have workplace culture and harassment. Many women report experience gender discrimination and microaggressions and even sexual harassment in the STEM workplace, possibly because it's predominantly male, which can lead to career dissatisfaction. You have confidence gaps, you have imposter syndrome. I run a company for, as you can see up there, Mums in Science, and we have a lot of free events on imposter syndrome because it prevents women from pushing themselves forward because they don't feel that they're right for the roles. And so you'll have men who are as good or worse than women pushing themselves up. So imposter syndrome is a big element for women. And confidence. And then you have unequal access to STEM education and training. In some regions, you have young girls with fewer opportunities to access quality STEM education, so it limits the pipeline for women entering the field. So I predominantly concentrate on 21 plus, so once women, or even 18 plus, once people have come out of the education system. But that's not to say that there are these biases within the education system as well, which have been mentioned already. So so there's a lot. There are a lot of reasons why women are not in STEM and not going into STEM, not staying in STEM, and trying to find ways to use their STEM experience in different ways from the mainstream. And I can talk about solutions if you want, but
go ahead.
I can talk.
Go ahead. This is quite interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So so there's a lot of solutions. I think I don't know where I stopped when I was talking about solutions. I think we were talking about work-life balance when I stopped talking about solutions. So basically, with work-life balance, there are many women will leave their careers because of challenges. Because in I would say every society, women are the predominant person to look after the family. It doesn't matter how equal people say you are, women are expected to look after the family, and with that comes all the responsibilities of picking them up, breastfeeding, all of whatever ages. And the only way that that is going to change is if employers need to offer flexible work arrangements, parental leave policies, return to work programs, but also they need to make it equal for men too. So this is not just about women having more. It's about being men having the same. Equality is about men having the same. So if men had parental leave and had the responsibility in the household and responsibility for the children as much as women, then not only would the onus not women not be under such pressure, so it would help their jobs, but also society would have to change, and the businesses and companies and institutions would have to change because they're dealing with the majority, all the workforce, because it's men and women. So that's dealing with work-life balance. And then we have the pay gap, and there's women in STEM often earn less than their male counterparts, and the solution here would be advocacy for transparent salary structures. Because currently there's not a lot of transparency, and negotiating pay from the start. Organizations need to implement equal pay policies to close the gap. There need to be more funding programs specifically for women in STEM needs to be developed. You have mentoring and networking is a big thing of mine. Women don't have a lot of access to networking and mentoring as well. We've spoken about mentoring before, and the last speaker spoke about mentoring, but there's also the networking aspect, because women at every level can mentor and also could be mentored. And although it's not a great, women tend to like to give their expertise and to share and to bring people up, and that's actually something that I'm also doing. I'm trying to develop a network, a women in STEM network, And it's a global platform for all women in STEM to come together and share their experiences and help each other and pull each other up. And I think it's going to be a game changer, because then it's a central place where people can talk about these issues and help each other. And there's going to be training on there as well. And we have free events, as I mentioned. So I spoke about the confidence gap and imposter syndrome. So again, with this, there's it's very easy to say, well, you need to pull yourself up or be more confident. I do run events on imposter syndrome, but there's also a place here for mentorship and peer support to solve these problems. And also we need to learn as women self-advocacy. Now I'm over 60 and I still am not very good at self-advocacy, but I have learned, and I look at my children who are over 20 now, and they are a lot more bold than I am. And I think I'm hopeful that the next generation of women are learning to speak for themselves better. But I think we have a long way to go. And this would help with leadership opportunities, building confidence, but institutions also need to recognise and amplify women's contributions. And they also need to recognise that men and women are different and they can be equal in their job, but the way that they speak up for themselves is different. And it doesn't mean that there's less or more in either. And I think that that's an education that needs to go on in institutions. And then we have unequal access to STEM education and training. And the solution here is the early STEM education that we were talking about before, providing scholarships for women in STEM a bit later on, create inclusive learning environments so that girls enter and succeed in STEM careers. And I'm actually a mentor for girls in Pakistan who are trying to understand their role in STEM. I think there's a lot of mentorship things around the world where women talk in educational under 18 educational environments to help girls, which is what you were talking about as well. So moving forward, women in STEM do face systemic challenges, but mentorship, policy changes, supportive networks can make a difference. And that's what I'm trying to do, because I'm creating this Women in STEM network, which I'd love you all to have a look at. womenstemnetwork.com, I think it is. But also mumsandscience.org runs free events for anybody who wants to come, which are the soft skills that women need in the workplace. And that also addresses these issues. So it talks about confidence, applying for a job, how to succeed when you're the only woman in the boardroom, and issues like that, and they're all free and they're online. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's just me rambling.
We want to take the next question now for discussions. And it's what scholarship grants and funding program exist for women in STEM? What are the scholarships? What are the grants? What are the funding programs that exist for women in STEM? Dr. Shara, we want you to talk about that too. Yes.
I think you're muted, Dr. Shara.
Sorry.
Dr. Shara, you're muted.
Sorry, yeah, sorry about that. I actually haven't got an answer to this one. I think it might be better because I looked at that and I thought there is so much out there, and it really depends, because STEM, as you know, is science, and science is biology, chemistry, physics, maths, and then there's it's just massive. So did you say scholarships? What scholarships?
Yes.
There's there's too much for me. And also, if we're talking about different regions as well, I know of in the UK there's Athena that gives scholarships to women, but it's too much. It's the subject. It's just too big for me to answer actually. So you might want to pass that to somebody else. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to have another of our panelists, Dr. Chinomso. Dr. Chinomso, please. You will tell us what the scholarships and the funding programs that exist for women and girls in STEM.
Yeah.
Dr. Zoshi, did you get that?
Yeah, can you hear me,
Did you
everyone? Good evening.
I can hear you very well.
All right. Yeah, I did some research because normally my background is public health, okay, health promotion, education. Also, is also related to STEM in a way, especially the technology part and the mathematics part when we talk about data analysis, biostatistics and all. But I also did some research talking about some opportunities, some scholarships, regarding funding programs for women in STEM. The first one I have here is the Ada Lovelace Fellowship. This also supports women, pursuing graduate studies. If you want to go for your postgraduate studies, it gives you the opportunity to gain the fellowship to study in technology. Also, the Women Tech Makers Scholar Program, which is supported by Google. Okay, it offers funding, mentorship for women in computer science. Okay, if women want to go basically in computer science, okay, Google also tries to provide that program, make it available for them. Okay, we have the Society of Women Engineers, and talking about the engineering women, okay, provides financial aid, excuse me, provides financial aid for women in engineering. So if you want to go into engineering field, okay, the Society for Women Engineers, they have scholarships which they give to young women to go into engineering. Okay. And also we have the education aspect, which the National Science Foundation, NSF grants, which supports research in case you need to go in research. For example, postgraduate studies, you have to do more research in STEM field and also education. So they try to provide grants for women in STEM, and also the tech program, the Tech Women program offers mentorship, professional development for women in STEM globally. Okay, so this captures women globally, not just a region. Okay, there's some other mentorship networking platforms which also women can build their successful career on, basically relating to STEM. We have the Million Women Mentors, also offers mentorship opportunities for women and girls in STEM. Okay, also LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn is very good. We used to build your professional networks, okay, finding mentors in the field of STEM, the field of technology, the field of engineering, and also mathematics. Okay, and the Association for Women in Science, the AWIS Association, the short form is AWIS, they also try to provide resources, they do advocacy, and also for networking for women, in the field of STEM, right? The Women in Tech Network also tries to support women in technology through their events, through campaigns, through career resources. They try to also reach out to women if they're interested in technology. They try to provide grants for them. Okay, so there are really opportunities, scholarship grants, the Anita Borg Memorial Scholarship also for women in technology, the Laurel UNESCO for Women in Science program, which is also for research scientists. Okay, so we have the Google Women, I talked about that one also for people that want to go into computer science, and also the mentorship programs. So all these listed programs, grants are all available for women trying to pursue a STEM career. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next. We'll have the next question, and that one is going to go to Mama, Mommy Gloria. You're going to help us. We want to know what skills are essential for women and girls to excel in STEM careers. What skills are essential for women and girls to excel in STEM careers? Mommy Gloria.
All right, thank you very much. My background is in data, so I will talk mostly about skills in data career paths. Okay, I will talk about a few career paths and the skills that you will need to enter into those career paths in STEM. Number one of it will be software development and engineering. And under software development and engineering, we have so many career paths like the software developer engineering. This is for those people that want to go into design, build and maintain application and softwares. And we have full stack developers, and this work on both front end, which we call the UI and the UX. That is the back end of databases and servers development. We have the mobile app developer, and they specializes in building apps for iOS, Android, and what have you, across platform solutions. And then we have the game developer who creates video games using engines like Unity and Unreal Engine. And we have embedded system developers. Those are those that work with hardware and firmware programming in devices that we use, like our cars and appliances. And also we have the DevOps engineers. They focus on software development, automation, and system integration. And for this career path, the skills that are mostly needed is Python, is a programming language. We have Java, JavaScript, C++, SQS, GIT, Agile, and DevOps tools, just to mention a few. And also we have cybersecurity and ethical hacking is another career path. And these career paths that are under this large heading is we have things like cybersecurity analysts. Those are people that are passionate about detecting and preventing cyber threats. Then we have the ethical hackers that simulate cyber attack to identify vulnerabilities. And we have the security engineers. Ones build security systems for network, software, and hardware. And we have the Chief Information Security Officer, which is called the CISO. They oversee organizational cyber security strategy. And we also have digital forensic analysts that investigate cyber crimes and digital evidence. And the set skills that you need for this set of career paths will be the cybersecurity frameworks, ethical hacking, penetration testing, cytography, and networking. You could do more research if you want to go that way. And also under the umbrella of data science and artificial intelligence, we have career paths like data scientists. These are people that love analyzing data to provide business insights. We have the data engineer, they design and manage data pipelines and storage. Then we have the machine learning engineer, they develops the AI models and automation systems. We have AI researchers, they work on cutting edge AI algorithms and deep learning. Then we also have the business intelligence analyst, the BI. And this sets use data visualization tools to drive business decision. And the skill set you will need here also Python, things like R, SQL, TensorFlow, the AI through ML frameworks, statistics and data visualization, just to mention a few. There are lots of them out there. So, and under the umbrella of cloud computing and IT infrastructure, we have career paths like cloud engineer, cloud architects, IT support specialists, system administrators, and network engineers. And the skill sets you will need is, they are cloud computing, networking. We have the Cisco, the AWS, the Azure, just to mention a few, Linux, automation, and security. And under web development and UI/UX design, we have career paths like the front-end developers. They design and develop visual parts of a website. The back-end developers, which manages servers and business logic. We have full-stack developers. And these are a set of people that work on both front-end and back-end. They are front-end and back-end developers. And we have the UI/UX designers. Those are the sets that design user-friendly, visually appealing interfaces to users. And then we have the Web3 developers. They build decentralized applications using blockchain technologies. And the skill sets you will need under this career path will be HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, Figma, UX Principle, just to name a few. And under IT management and consulting, there are career paths like IT project manager, IT consultant, chief technology officer, and IT business analyst. And you will need skill set like Agile, Scrum, PMP certification, business analysis, risk management, just to name a few. And under engineering tech fields, for those interested in cutting-edge innovation and future tech trends, we have things like blockchain developer. These are the people that build applications using blockchain technology, like what we have in our, those that do cryptos. Okay. Also, we have quantum computing researchers. Those are those that work on next generation computing technology. And we have augmented reality, so virtual reality developers. And we have Internet of Things engineer. These are the people that work on smart devices, connected systems. The skill set you will need here are the blockchain programming, that is Solidity, quantum algorithms, AR, VR tools, and IoT security, just to name a few. Okay, and how do we get into these career paths? We'll start by getting education. You get educated to earn like a degree in computer science or IT or a related field. And alternatively, self-learning and boot camps are great starting points as well to get into these career paths. And then you have to develop technical skills like learning programming languages, cybersecurity basics, or cloud computing. And then as you go on, you gain experience, work on projects, contribute to open source, or take internships. And then certifications. You can add certification, makes them more colorful. And examples of certification would be the AWS Certified Solution Architect, We also have the CompTIA A Security Plus. We have the CISSP, which is for cybersecurity, and Google Data Engineer. And also, you network and apply. There are a lot of grant opportunities for women and girls. There are mentorship opportunities for women and girls. Dr. Chinonso have spoken extensively on that, and you could also research to gain more understanding and find out opportunities that are out there for women and girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that insight. I want Papa to talk about that question too. What skills are essential for women and girls to excel in STEM careers? We need more into that. So, Dr. Sam, Papa, over to you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Shara, Dr. Chinonso, Caroline, and Gloria. I think if we want to talk about skills that are very, very important for women and girls, I think we'll be here till tomorrow because the STEM field is enormous. Okay, I would rather address the question by maybe encouraging everyone or highlighting on how to acquire any skill that you desire. So STEM, as Caroline earlier defined, is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. But generally in science and engineering, I think if anyone wants to go into science and engineering, there is a fundamental skills that a person must have: English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology. I think these are subjects that are generally regarded as science subjects. Okay, and I do say to people, this subject, when you are in college, you have to do all of these things. And I do say to people that sometimes you may not like one of the subjects. Maybe you like physics, chemistry, but you don't like biology or you don't like mathematics. And I think this is one area, one mistake that a lot of people do, because I do believe that success in one area can lead to success in other area. There are instances where you have to do something that you might not like very well, but you need it to leverage on something. So this science background is just the entry point for everyone that want to go into STEM. And then thereafter, I think people have to look for specific area that they want to focus on. If you want to be a medical doctor, a physician like Shara, or you want to be going to physiology or public health like Chinonso, or you want to do teaching and support communities like Caroline, or have foundation in electrical, electronics engineering, or IT like Gloria, you have to then narrow down to your area of interest. And I think this all begin with looking for the appropriate mentors. Like Dr. Shara mentioned, there are not much people mentoring some of these ladies and so on and so forth. But I think you need to look at that and also just get the right information out there that you need. I think when it comes to developing career, there is like a narrow path that many people know, which is get out of college, write A-level, go to universities. But there are other options like apprenticeship. Okay, apprenticeship is really very important, either formal or informal apprenticeship, whether or not it leads to certification. These days, there's a lot of online whatever. So having the basic computer skills to be able to browse the internet, to be able to follow lectures online. These are some basic skills that can help you to pick up, being able to browse the internet effectively, staying safe on the internet, and also being able to enroll on some of these virtual platforms that deliver lectures and all of those things. I think those skills, along with the basic science skills in college, they are fundamental. Also, communication skills. You know, sometimes when we want to talk about skills, we want to talk about those, I will call it traditional skills, where you need to learn like chemistry, physics, or will I call it skills, or maybe engineering or technical drawing. But communication is part of skill. Okay, for example, you meet someone for the first time. How are you going to leverage on that to get what you want? Your interpersonal skill, your communication skill, transferable skills. These are things we want our girls to be able to develop in. Girls are being used to chasing. Some of them, like Dr. Shara did mention, that the kids are more confident than she is, like, and so on. I think girls these days, they are becoming more confident, but I think a lot of work has to be done with communicating, letting people know that you are not just a sex object or two, but that you have something to offer, presenting yourself like, someone that has something to offer, that boldness, you know. Yeah, it can, it's really, really very important skill, communication skill, and the way you present yourself, interpersonal skills. And I think some of these skills are really transferable skills, and digital skills is really, really very important in this age of artificial intelligence and internet. I think I will have to stop there, because I think there are so many, but these are the basic fundamental skills that if anybody have, like someone did mention LinkedIn. Someone mentioned creating a LinkedIn profile. Okay, so if I'm to be very specific, if we talk about communication skills, it's not all about talking. It's all about visibility. For example, if you look at Dr. Shara's background, you see mominscience.org. What she's done at the background, or you look at Caroline background, you can see these are part of communication skill, visibility. Unfortunately, I didn't put only nations in my background, but of course, you might have seen my logo flashing here and there. So these are part of communication skill, visibility, being able to push yourself forward. And thanks to every young girls and women that is online here with us, a lot of people indicated interest, but not a lot of them are here. Maybe they are distracted on social media and all of those things. But you being able to come and see what people have to say is part of it. And let me say this is coming to me. Let me say this. I caught someone in Africa one time, and I said to him that sometimes when people make impact on your life, it's not all about giving you money. I went to university, had a first class, and the person that has impacted my life most to have that first class has never given me a penny. What happened is the way he communicated. That's my other brother, the way he communicated. I was in his office one day, and he was discussing about a guy, I still remember the name, Etigali or someone, a guy that finished from forestry. And that guy had first class, went to the UK briefly to do something. And he was discussing with his friends, and he was like, this guy had a first class, very hard-working person. And I was just there listening. And at that time, what do? I was in Africa. I used bike to take people from one point to another and get some money. That was what I was doing, which some people call cyclists, for those of you that have been to Africa. And I was listening to that, and I'm like, okay, if I ever get to university, I must have a first class. That is impact. That is impact. So girls have to understand that life is not all about give me money or what do I. So I called someone in Africa, as I was saying. I said, do you know that? I said, do you know that you being able to talk to someone in London is exposure? It's exposure. And when I was your age, I didn't hear UK. I've not heard the name UK, let alone London, or let alone having to have someone in the UK that I have to talk to. But I could remember being on the farm working and seeing an aeroplane flying over me, and I tried to look. I'm like, what is this? How can these things be flying in the air? That is the closest I was able to go. But now you are in Africa and you are talking to someone in London, it's an opportunity. So people need to have skills to leverage on some of these opportunity, visibility, bringing out yourself and all of those things. And we have to understand that it's not all money or whatever. And people that will make the most impact in your life may not necessarily give you money, but you being willing. And let me say this as well. I was in Nigeria recently, and I was in my family house. And I want to talk about this because sometimes when we talk about skills, we miss some of these salient points, okay? I was in our family house, and some people came in. They saw that the place was dirty, and one of the lady picked the broom and started cleaning up some of the places because all of us has left the family house and it's kind of dusty. Right there, nobody told her to do that. Right there, I looked at her and I'm like, okay, this lady is trying to solve a problem. That is part of skills. You've seen a challenge and trying to solve a problem. Right there, I became interested in her and I picked her up. So when we seek for opportunities doesn't come like opportunities, and little things like this, and being able and being willing to solve problems anywhere you meet it could drastically change your life as a young lady or as a woman. Thank you. I will stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Dr. Samuel. Thank you so much. Now, still on that question, what skills are essential for women and girls to excel in STEM careers? I want Dr. Shara briefly to talk about that.
I'll try and be brief. Yes, it's a very good point, because I deal with Mums in Science. I deal with the soft skills that women need to be in the workplace. So there's all the technical stuff that was just spoken about, but there are a lot of soft skills. As we just heard, communication and collaboration are very important. So effective communication, teamwork, leadership, negotiation, self-advocacy. But there's a lot of other things as well. There's critical thinking and creativity. So in that, you've got logical reasoning, the ability to break down complex concepts, approach challenges, approach complex challenges, innovation, creativity, adaptability, curiosity. These are all things that you can learn. They're not taught at university. They're innate, or you can learn them, but they're the soft skills that you need to move forward. There's also, especially for women, there's resilience and confidence, because women are going to need resilience to overcome the bias and stereotypes, growth mindset. They're going to have, they need to embrace their failures as learning opportunities and stay motivated in the face of setbacks. So they also need the resilience and confidence, and eventually they might need their leadership and business acumen as well. So they might need to have project management skills, entrepreneurship. That's actually what I did. I was 20 years as a bench scientist, and then I pivoted and became an entrepreneur for another 20 years. And you do find that with scientists. And then there's ethical decision making as well. So it might be, it should, I mean, I feel that it's important to ensure that the STEM advancements that you're making align with ethics and sustainability or inclusivity. So there are technical things that you need, and you will learn those with your degree, but these soft skills will push you up, keep you going, and make you stand apart and help you in your career. So that's as quick as I could do it. I hope that's okay.
Thank you, Dr. Chara. Miss Caroline, are you there? I want you to talk briefly on the skills that are essential for women and girls to excel in STEM career.
Repeat the question.
So what skills are essential for women and girls to excel in STEM career?
Okay, so I think that question has been answered in different ways. Yeah, but I'll
Yes.
answer it in my own way. So when you talk about skills, actually, we are really talking about I want to blend it with the technical skill aspect and the soft skill aspect, as Shara has talked about. For me, actually, we have just developed what we call the STEM storytelling competition. And in that competition, what we are looking at in these girls, actually for girls in high school here in Kenya, we are testing their soft skills, ability to speak, communicate. How are they able to tell a story the STEM way? So we developed the STEM storytelling competition that we have actually a range of criteria that we look at when we come to judge these girls. So one of the things that we look at are the skills communication. How is this girl able to communicate from a young girl in high school? How is she able to talk about her journey in STEM, especially in high school? And how does that blend now with her need to take up a STEM career in later in life? So we have one of the criteria we look at is her communication ability, her ability to communicate. We also look at how she brings out her story. Is she confident? Because we are really trying to bring out, to mold a confident girl in our organization. So we are looking at the self-efficacy aspect. We also look at the creativity aspect. When we look at this video that this girl is bringing us for judging, how creative is she? So those are the three main skills that we look at for our STEM storytelling competition. I also want to emphasize the need for digital literacy, especially when you look at the 21st century world we are in and the revolving aspect of AI and robotics. So recently we just introduced robotics club in a few schools in Kenya, and with a strong emphasis, especially in girls' schools, just to introduce to them Arduino robots. So what we are doing in this, and the reason as to why we decided to introduce STEM clubs and with the emphasis on robotics, was to help these girls develop problem-solving skills. And that's also a critical skill for them. And we blend this skill of problem solving with digital literacy, because for them to be able to understand coding and robotics, they also require the digital literacy aspect. Yeah, so these are skills that are really required in the 21st century. Digital literacy and the connection with artificial intelligence, and then we bring in the aspect of robotics, which is actually more of the technical skill, but we also want to blend it now to bring about the art part of it with the communication skills, critical thinking skills, collaboration, yeah, and creativity and self-confidence and all that. So those are the major skills for girls, especially for them to thrive in the 21st century. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Okay, we'll move over to the next discussion. We're looking at innovation and future trends. The innovation and future trends. How is technology shaping opportunities for women in STEM? How is technology shaping opportunities for women in STEM? Dr. Shinamso, please. How is technology shaping opportunities for women in STEM?
Okay. Basically, some opportunities for women in STEM, regarding technology. Yeah, we talk about working remotely, working from home, flexible opportunities. You can see now, most engineering or technology or IT jobs definitely, have their jobs not just coming into the office every time, so they can do flexible working. Okay, making better, making the life or work-life balance better. Okay, also we talk about interdisciplinary fields. So different fields are coming into play, all right, such as biotechnology, data science, okay, careers from multiple STEM fields such as biotechnology and data science, and also for demand for diversity. Companies now are now looking at the reason or value for diverse perspectives in innovation. So, there are a lot of diversity in, innovations for STEM. Okay, and all this is basically important because these are future trends. We're going into the future, going forward, moving forward. What are the new things? So now, but before now, most of the jobs don't really have, flexible working, like, remote working. But now we are seeing more of remote working, basically for men, for women, and also for other people that, want to do STEM careers. Okay. Then also we talk about the different STEM fields for young women. Like Caroline talked about AI, okay, artificial intelligence, okay, robotics, machine learning, like Ms. Gloria talked about, okay, and also cybersecurity, is also an emerging field, and data science. Then we talk about clean energy, okay, and sustainability. Also, this is also a program or a space also for emerging fields in STEM. And also biotechnology, health informatics, using health data to definitely know health outcomes, data analysis, and also space technology. When you talk about aerospace engineering, aerospace technology, and space technology, like I'm from the public health department or public health background. Okay, we are is science also, but the STEM part is the data analysis part where we try to analyze data to inform health decisions, to inform health outcomes, to know, maybe, for example, you want to know the effect of a drug or effect of a particular program or intervention. So we try to collect data, okay, subject data from population-wise, public health, and use data to inform information for public health. So basically the aspect also for science and also for technology parts and mathematics parts. So public health also intertwines with STEM. Okay, yes, it's a social science, a science subject, also is a practice, okay, but it also has an intertwine with STEM. So all this innovation or future trends are all what is available for women and girls in STEM. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Still on that, we want to go to the next question. What emerging STEM fields offer the best prospects for young women? What emerging STEM fields offer the best prospects for women? What emerging STEM fields? So I want us to talk about that. I'll start with Ms. Caroline to talk about that. What emerging STEM fields offer the best prospect for young women briefly? So I want to go around the panelists on this very one. What emerging STEM fields offer the best prospect for young women? Ms. Caroline, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Okay, my camera is not responding. I think I have a slow internet, but let me proceed. So the first emerging STEM field that is actually very essential for young women is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Yeah, I think this is because with AI, there's a lot of revolution, especially when it comes to healthcare. It has moved into finance, it has moved into education. Yeah, and there are so many careers, especially when it comes to AI, artificial intelligence, and ML, machine learning. We have careers such as AI engineer, we have data scientists, we have machine learning experts or specialists. And this growing demand for ethical artificial intelligence has also brought a lot of diversity, especially because it's revolutioning in different industries such as the healthcare, finance, and education. Another strong emerging STEM field, especially in this century, 21st century, is cybersecurity. Basically because of the increase in the cyber threats worldwide. We are all hearing different there are so many things about hacking and ethical hackers. Yeah, so apart from that, there's also an increase in the number of careers in that field. We have ethical hackers, we have cybersecurity analysts, yeah, we have security engineers, and there are so many organizations that are willing to bring about people on board who are able to come on board to assist in, especially when it comes to cyber threats. Yeah, so that one is also a very popular emerging STEM career. And also, I look at, we have even careers like biotechnology and bioinformatics. That's also very key. Yeah, because with the increase in innovations in genetics, pharmaceuticals, and medical research, we have the need also to the increase in the careers like biomedical engineers. We have bioinformatics specialists. Yeah, and also women. I believe women can lead a lot of research. When it comes to doing research, women are really good at that. So it's something which is a plus for women, especially when it comes to disease prevention and treatment. Yeah, and lastly, I look at robotics and automation, because robotics is also transforming industries and manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture, it's even in education. Yeah, and we have different careers in robotics and automation. People become robotics engineers. We have automation specialists. Yeah, we also have mechatronics engineers. Yeah. And when you look at the female representation in robotics and automation, it's very crucial for women to be tech into robotics, because it's it's a safe space, because it allows women to become problem solvers. And that's actually why my organization has been going around schools, just introducing robotics to students so that they can be able to develop these skills of problem solving. Yeah, because I feel there's a lot of move and increase in popularity, especially when it comes to automation and robotics. Yeah, so those are some of the main emerging STEM fields that I believe are crucial, especially in the 21st century. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Is still on that question? We want Mrs. Gloria and Angel to talk about it. What emerging STEM fields offer the best prospect for young women?
Okay, I think Ms. Caroline have talked extensively on that. And I also want to talk about in terms of what you enjoy the most. You know, for when we go by what we enjoy doing, there are lots of emerging fields that women and girls can go into. For those that love data, coding, automation, we have AI and machine learning. And yes, there are opportunities for you to work remotely if you go into that field, and opportunity for hybrid working. We also have cybersecurity for those that enjoy digital security and hacking. We have data science for those that enjoy AI, working with AI, analytics, business insights. And we have computing for those that enjoy going into IT infrastructure and automation. We have robotics and automation for those that enjoy engineering and AI-driven machine. There is also biotech and bioinformatics for people that enjoy medical research and genetics. We have renewable energy for those that enjoy green tech and would love to go into sustainability. And then also we have blockchain and Web3 for women that enjoy cryptocurrency, digital assets and DeFi. And yes, in all this, you can work remotely and also hybrid if you choose to go in any of this direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We've come to the end of our discussion. Question for every. This is a rounding up. Just know you're rounding up for us. We'll start with Dr. You're going to tell us what you learned along the way while your STEM career was on, and what advice would you give to young girls aspiring to join? Dr. Shara, did you get that?
Yes, I'm having a bit of headphone issues, but are you asking me?
What inspired you to pursue your
Oh.
career in STEM? What lessons you learned? What advice would you be giving to the girls
Yeah.
to join the STEM industry?
So why did I go into STEM? I went into STEM because I was always interested in science, and at school I did much better at science than the other subjects. I was born in the early 60s. I was not encouraged to do science. So I've got stories there. I actually got the highest in the year in my in science, in fact, and I was told not to do science, and my mother had to go in and fight for me when I was 12. But so I always had I was always quite good at it, but the actual reason that I went into it was because my brother was disabled. He was born disabled, and I wanted to be a scientist and find a cure, and that's what drove me. However, the obstacles, as I mentioned, were right from the start. When I was at school, I wasn't encouraged to do science. My brother went to the same school as me, and he did computer technology, and I didn't even know that was an option for me. So in the 60s, it was not encouraged for women to do science, and it doesn't seem to have changed in many years. I talk to women, and the stories that they tell me are very similar to the ones that I had, and I'm quite shocked at how much hasn't changed. So there's a lot of stories I could tell you of the obstacles that I had along the way. But the advice that I can give you, without going into too much detail, which I could be, because I've got, I don't know how many years that is, 40 years of things I can tell you, but I can tell you the advice that I would give if you're dreaming of a career in STEM, is that you need to know that you belong in STEM and that your ideas matter and that your future is limitless. It is, especially with the internet now, we are global. Your opportunities are much wider, but you do need to believe in yourself and stay confident. It's very important, because there will be people who will look at you and think, why are you doing this, for whatever reason, but your gender could be one of them. And STEM fields can seem intimidating, but you're just as capable as anybody else. In fact, my headmaster told me when I was about 14, he said in the class, it was a maths, and he said, if somebody else can do it, you can. He didn't tell me, he told the class. And he said to the class, if other people can do it, you can do it. And I think that's a good thing to go by. You're just as capable as anybody else. Don't let self-doubt or stereotypes hold you back. You need to trust in your abilities. The world tells us that engineering, physics, these are male jobs. They are not. I was told computer science was not for women, and now in certain areas women dominate computer science. You need to remember that STEM is for everyone, and your perspective is valuable in solving real world problems. If it was just men doing STEM, they would be solving male problems. So you're needed in STEM. Confidence grows with experience, so you need to start small and practice, but just don't give up. Don't listen to them, listen to you. And then the other thing I'd say is to get curious and keep learning all the time. I'm still learning different things. STEM is all about problem solving and discovery. never stop asking why and how. And I think that's a good thing in your personal life as well. I think asking questions is very important. And obviously you need to take STEM related courses at school. You need to explore online learning platforms. There's a lot of them. There's MIT OpenCourseWare. There's lots of online learning platforms. And you could also participate in STEM competitions and science fairs and coding boot camps and things like that. My daughters, when they were younger, just went for every competition they could, and when they went for their uni entrances, they could add these to their CV to get into university. But curiosity fuels innovation. So you need to embrace challenges, turn them into opportunities, be curious. And then I would also say role models and mentors are important. If you can connect with women in STEM who inspire you and learn from their experience, and I find that the higher up you get, the more you want to give. So don't be scared of asking people for their experience and to help you going up. And also women like to do that as well, lifting each other up. So do find people to talk to, join mentorship programs or communities like the one that we're trying to create, the Women in STEM Network. That is going to be a global community to support women in STEM. And then also you could read about pioneering women. Marie Curie was mentioned before, but there's also people like Jane Goodall in biology, Ada Lovelace computing. There's lots of women who succeeded in STEM, and seeing women succeed in STEM can make it easier for you to imagine yourself there as well. That I don't know, I've got a few more points. There's problem solving and critical thinking are very important. You can develop these. STEM careers involve analyzing problems, creating solutions, so you can practice these early, as well as learning things like coding or robotics or data science. You can engage in logic-based puzzles, logic-based games, puzzles, hands-on projects to improve your analytical thinking. So every great discovery starts with a question. You need to be a problem solver, and don't be afraid to fail. That's really important. Don't be afraid to fail at all, because failure will happen, and failure is a learning experience. Failure is not bad because it takes you to the next step. And you know, all successful people fail. And I would say, as a quote, I can't remember what it is, but some people, you can fail more times than you succeed, but you just need those successes to move forward. Building a support network is important. You can surround yourself with supportive people, and you know, put the people who aren't so supportive at a distance. You can work in group projects, so attend STEM clubs and do things like that. STEM is in general a team effort, because collaboration leads to innovation, and you need to hear different people's points of view, which again brings us back to why women need to be in STEM, because you need the women's voice. You also need to challenge the gender stereotypes and speak up, because people assume that STEM isn't for girls, and you need to prove them wrong. You need to prove them with your passion and your skills. And if you experience bias or discouragement, just find allies and keep pushing forward, and trust in yourself and advocate for yourself, and don't be afraid to take credit for your ideas. And that's quite important, and it's something that I had to learn, to take credit for my ideas, because if you don't, somebody else will. And I've learned that. And STEM needs diverse voices, and your voice matters. So don't let stereotypes define your path. But you also do need to get real world experience. So you need to apply for apprenticeships, summer jobs. And it was mentioned before that money should not be your driving force. And it's a very easy thing to say, and people need money, and you need money to eat and buy clothes, and money is important. But if it's not your driving force, then you have a clearer vision of what you want, and you can apply for things like internships and apprenticeships and summer programs that don't necessarily give you money, but they'll give you the experience to grow and to find the job that is right for you. And you could also shadow professionals in STEM careers to get real world experience, and then by getting that, It will help you apply for jobs where you do get the money. So volunteering, like in science museums or engineering camps or code hackathons, will give you hands-on experience, and real-world exposure helps you find what excites you the most in STEM, and it also gives you that experience to get the next job, and it helps you find advocates for you. You'll need to learn to fail and keep going. So I've said this already, but I want to emphasize it again. Mistakes and failures are a natural part of STEM. Even top scientists fail before they succeed. See setbacks as learning opportunities rather than obstacles. Keep trying, improving, and embracing challenges with a growth mindset. A growth mindset is extremely important because every failure brings you one step closer to success. So you need to keep pushing. And lastly, I'll just say, explore different STEM careers. STEM is huge. It's absolutely huge. So if you're thinking of STEM, what do you think about? You think about renewable energy, robotics, AI, space, health, environment, teaching, being a technician. That it's just huge. So there's so many paths you can take, and you just need to find the one that excites you most. And also STEM careers are evolving, so you need to find your passion and carve your own path. And then I did say lastly, but this is my lastly, join a STEM community for support and opportunities. There are societies that you can join. I belong to lots of different societies, and they all have different perspectives. You can join my networks, go to my meetings, but there's lots of opportunities out there for you to find places that will open doors for you for mentorships and scholarships and jobs. Networking is very important. I think that is all I have to say. Thank you. Yeah.
Shara, thank you very much. Okay, we said this is rounding up. We're going to be taking 1 minute for every other panelist, please, because we want to keep the time. Now, still on that question, your advice. What's your advice while pursuing this career in STEM? What would you tell the young girls coming up? Dr. Chinonso, please.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, yeah, you very well.
Oh, yeah. So, my background is actually public health, okay, health promotion, okay, basically, scientific research, okay, using data and also trying to solve real world or real health challenges, okay, like reducing health inequalities, tackling chronic, diseases, and also trying to improve mental health outcomes. So basically, in health promotion, we rely basically on scientific research, okay, evidence-based programs, and also technology, okay. For example, using of Fitbits, like the smart wristwatches, okay, using to tailor your health, your well-being, all right, maybe your physical health or your physical activity, okay. So that's also trying to, bring in public health or STEM into public health. All right, so the lessons that has been learned along the way, as a public health professional, all right, collaboration, trying to collaborate with other multidisciplines, not just public health, such as epidemiology, biostatistics, health informatics, or to address complex health issues. All right, I also learned that data is very important. It's one of the most important and powerful tools, okay, basically we use in health promotion, because if we don't have data, definitely we can't actually have the inference or the conclusion, on what the health outcomes will be. So definitely in health promotion, we definitely do a lot of data analysis using softwares like the SPSS, statistical package software app. Okay, that's by the IBM, that's the SPSS statistical package for social sciences. We also use the R also app, and also the starter app. All these apps are also good for data analysis. So we also try to do that when we're doing public health. So public health, like I said before, is also related to STEM, because we do all these data analysis and health analysis for health outcomes. And also for the advice for young girls going into STEM industry, and also from the public health aspect or perspective, I would advise everyone or girls to definitely think broad about STEM, not just trying to think about it as just engineering and coding. Okay, you can also talk about it improving public health. You can also think about it, in the sense of, solving global challenges and also making communities healthier. Okay, so public health offers many exciting STEM related careers, from epidemiology, okay, which is the study of, the diseases in the community, also health informatics, all right, and also environmental health. So not just coding, engineering, AI, you can also be a public health professional and also incorporate STEM into your practice. Okay, the other advice I'll also give to young women or women and girls is also try to talk about embracing different interdisciplinary thinking. For example, we know that many health challenges today require, different collaboration from STEM fields. For example, if you're interested in biology, technology, or data science, definitely these skills, will be applied to public health. Okay, so definitely, we're trying to involve them and say you don't have to just be going to STEM. Also, you can also bring public health into STEM, which is very good, because public health, you can be a researcher, you can be a health information officer, you can be a data analyst, basically with health, you can be also data entry records and all that. So all those skills you can also have in public health. So relating public health to STEM is very important. They also try, just like the other speaker said, talking about mentors, okay, networking, trying to find role models in STEM related public health fields that can also guide and also inspire you, and also you stay curious, try to know more. The journey definitely might have challenges. We have ups and downs, especially the scene now is male dominated. Okay, so we try to make sure that you're curious, trying to keep yourself moving forward, and that every step you take, you're trying to pave way for the others. So I'll try to advise all women and girls just to think about it and try to just be on top of your game, and everything will be okay at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shinamson. Thank you so much. Okay, Mrs. Gloria, giving us an advice, the career, while you went through your career, what advice would you give to the young girls aspiring to join STEM? Briefly, Mom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to be brief. I'll try to be brief. I think the first thing I will say is to not allow stereotypical ideology to hold you back as a woman or girl that want to go into STEM. Because I could remember my early years in the engineering world. I started off as an electronics engineer. I did my diploma. I think back then in school, because I love reading in the cool evening into the night, and when I go to class to read, the other my colleagues, the boys, they'll keep telling me, "Why are you still here reading? Go home. At the end of the day, we'll be the one to come and marry you." As if, and they keep saying women education end in kitchen. That was so, stereotypical and kind of putting women down in a way. But what helped me then was I have positive people around me. So another thing I'll say is to stay connected to people that will encourage you. You tend towards people that are positive, that, think in the same line with you, and go very far away from people that will always want to pull you down or discourage you. And my dad was key to me, developing that courage and the resilience to push through. I think my first wiring, I did wiring when my father, my mom's retail kiosk was wired. The electrical installation was done by me and my dad. Then back then, as a teenage engineer, I would say. And that was kind of encouraging for me that he is a man, but he see the potential, the passion, and he want to, push me forward, encourage me to be all I want to be. So it kind of encouraged me and keep me going. And then along the line, I swerve into IT. I am passionate about data. There are a lot of data everywhere, and there are a lot of insights, stories you can tell with data. Like in the health field, in the health world, with your data, you can solve a lot of problems. And I like working with data. Some people are scared of data, but what I always say is bring them to me. I will crunch it for you, and I will bring something. I will tell a good story that you will enjoy listening to. With data, you can solve a lot of problems. Insight you get from data. For example, let's say there are outbreak of we know about outbreak of COVID and the rest of them. With data, you could tell the population that need vaccine more than other population. With data, you can allocate vaccine to the right people. But if you don't have this data, you could just say, okay, for example, in Nigeria, there are 26 states. Let's distribute evenly to each state. But with your data, you could tell that a particular state are more susceptible to this disease than other, and you will be able to, share this vaccine appropriately, and it will reach people that really need it. And even in the engineering field, in fact, everywhere there are data all about, and there are a lot of inside lockdown in data that we could, explore and make positive changes with. My advice to women and girls is just follow your dream, go into what you are passionate about, be confident, and don't let anyone put you down. And also try to upskill, because technology is evolving. We are growing every day. Try to upskill to stay up to date in your field of interest as you go. I think I'll stop there for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, let's have Miss Caroline give us this roundup here. What advice will you give to the young girls aspiring to join STEM?
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. So first of all, just a brief about how I got myself into STEM. Actually, it all started with a passion for chemistry. I loved chemistry when I was in high school. Anytime my female chemistry teacher would come into the classroom, I would feel this energy, unlike other subjects. And I felt there's this something about chemistry and mixing chemicals and even going to the lab. Actually, it really enticed me and gave me a lot of passion. And that's how sorry about the noise.
We can hear you. Miss Caroline, can you continue?
I think we can proceed.
Okay, let's proceed. Let's have Dr. Sam Abba give us the advice.
All right, sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, so I was saying that I had a lot of energy when it came to going to the chemistry laboratory and mixing the chemicals and doing the calculations. And that's how my my love for chemistry began. And then when I completed high school, I passed chemistry really well. I joined the university and I wanted to do something to do with Bachelor of Science in Chemistry or something engineering, but my parents felt this is not for you and you might not really finish. And that's how I ended up doing education. And because they felt education will give me a job very fast when I complete high school, unlike other careers. And that's how I ended up in teaching. And wow, it was really not easy, but I took chemistry and biology and became a teacher. I have taught for a period of 8 years. And then that's how I started mentoring girls in science, because I had a mixture of boys and girls in my class. And I realized that my students, the girls, were really doing poorly in my subjects in biology and chemistry, unlike the boys. And so I decided to do something for these girls. I would provide them with mentorship and provide them with after school talks and guidance and counseling, just to help them understand the need for STEM. And that's how Women in STEM initiative was born, out of a passion to see girls empowered. So I've always had the same voice, and our motto, our mantra is basically giving girls a voice in STEM. Yeah, because I believe that it is through our voice that we are able to voice these girls. My encouragement for every girl out there is you can do it, and nothing is impossible. That whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. And in my book, in this STEM career pathway book, I have listed out the different careers and also given out a word of shout out from every woman who works with us in my organization, who provides these girls with a lot of mentorship and also a word of encouragement to help them realize that it is possible for a woman to also thrive in the STEM field. That is all for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Caroline. Thank you very much. That was a good one. Okay. Lastly, we're going to have Dr. Sam Abba give us advice for the young girls aspiring to join STEM.
Okay, thank you very much. My advice is the only way to start is to start. The only way to start is to start. There is no better time to do anything than now. So if you, just like Gloria mentioned and the rest speakers, if you have interest in a particular area, start. And when you want to start, just start. So when people ask me, how do I start? I tell them, start. Okay, and start with whatever resources that you have. And remember, university is now here. Okay, university is now here. This mobile phone that you carry, a lot of people have access to mobile phone. You can start reading something on your mobile phone gradually. There's so much virtual learning platforms these days. Future Learn is one of them. I've had to take some biotechnology course on Future Learn to see how it goes. And I think with my experience in biotechnology, monoclonal antibody, polyclonal antibody production, and all of those things, it's pretty good. And I asked other people about their idea what Future Learn. So it's good. And not just Future Learn, there is so many LinkedIn Learning and all of those things. Use your mobile phone appropriately. Gravitate towards people that could encourage you, which is something I see everyone here talking about, which is really very important. And have mentors in your choosing area of career or interest. So I think that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, we've come to the end of this discussion. If you please, can you put your questions in the comment section? So amiable panelists, can you leave a word in the comment section for all participants? Now, I have one question. Can someone without science background do any of these? A person without a science background, is it possible to do any of this? I want
Okay, so I think she's a bit frozen. Yeah, so any of the speaker can lend voice to this. Okay, Dr. Shara, thank you.
Yes, you can. There's lots of things you can do without a science degree. There's just lots, but because STEM is so massive, you know, I can't talk about it specifically, but there are, I would say if you want to do it without the background, without getting the degree, then you should go and see if you can get apprenticeship somewhere. There's a lot of STEM apprenticeships out there. But to speak specifically is very difficult because it's different in the countries and it's different in the different areas. But you definitely can do it without a science degree. You won't be able to do certain things, but you can get into STEM without a science degree. Yeah.
Good. Yes, I think I also think pretty much the same. I think the same as well. I've seen people without science background being coached to have a successful career in STEM. So I think the main thing there is the interest. So when you have an interest in a particular area, yes, you can make it happen. There are a lot of apprenticeship out there as well. And I think apprenticeship is becoming the thing even in the UK currently. Now we have doctor's apprenticeship. I think Angela Ruskin started something like that, where people go into medicine, you through apprenticeship and all other areas. So yeah, as Dr. Shara said, yes, if you don't have the traditional like school-based science, wherever, if you happen to get into any of the apprenticeship, I think you can make a lot of things happen as well. Or you can even learn on your own. I think one important thing is also having a good coach or a good teacher who can support you to leverage on whatever background you don't, leverage on their knowledge for whatever background that you didn't have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I want to appreciate all our panelists and even our participants. I want to say thank you very much so far. If you still have a question, you can leave it in the comment section. For now, we don't have any other question again. So we're going to be inviting Barrister Princess to take the announcement and the group photograph.
Okay, thank you. I was just about to type and ask Dr. Shara, how can I become a part of the Women in STEM Network initiative? And
Thank you.
Thank
you very much for asking. Yes, thanks. So we have there's two things I would suggest you do. First of all, if you go to mumsinscience.org, we run free events. So if you have a look at our events, we have about 2 every month. They're free. Just tell people about them. You don't have to join. You just come. You don't just come. You have to sign up. It's Eventbrite, but it's free. And then the second thing is the Women in STEM Network, and I'm going to put it in the chat. If you go to womeninstemnetwork.com, and there's many things you can do. You can sign up to our newsletters to see what's going on. You can become a member. That's a yearly cost. If it's inexpensive for you, contact me through LinkedIn and I can give you a discount, because we want to be inclusive. We want to make sure everyone's involved. The reason we're charging at the moment is because we're trying to build a network that's going to cost us £2 million. So we're trying to get sponsors and membership, but I don't want you to be excluded. So contact me if you need a discount or if you need it free. And then I've forgotten what the third thing is. So yes, you actually, hang on, become a founding member. Oh yes, the third thing, here's the link to become a founding member. And the third thing you can do is we're also looking for ambassadors, and we're looking for ambassadors across the world. And our ambassadors go out and tell other people about what we're doing and help us grow, and they're very valuable to us. So there's 3 things that you can do, and just feel free to contact me on LinkedIn to discuss it, follow those links. Thank you very much for asking, because we're trying to build this now, and I need as much help as possible.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shara, for making that clear. Even though I don't think I'm in the STEM field yet, you'll be seeing me knocking on your doors soon. Okay, so once again, thank you very much to all our panelists and then to the moderator who did an excellent job, and to participants. I thought participants would leave one word, just one word in the comment section, one word about how the session has been. What is your one word? Has it been insightful? Has it been enlightening? What is your one word? Participants, we need to see that coming so we know you're not even asleep and that you are listening to this. What is your one word about how the session has been? Tell us. So quickly, we are Holy Nations International Ministries, and we organize this event thanks to our presidents and also to the partnership from ABS Education Support UK. We believe that it's a privilege to be taught the truth of God's word in a world that is filled with so many lies. And we will invite you to please join us on Sundays by 9 a.m. GMT +1, that's Nigeria time, and as well as every Fridays by 10 p.m. Nigerian time for our services. Just come in one of these days and worship with us and join our gospel campaign and even hear what it's about and become a part of the family. If you look at the comment section, the chat box, we have put up links of how you can connect with us across our social media pages. The recording of this event is going to be on our social media pages. Please follow any of these links to connect with us. You can also follow any of the links to connect with the speakers, any of the speakers you need to network with. You know, one thing that has been said repeatedly is that mentorship and networking for women in STEM is really low. So this is an opportunity for you to connect and also to connect with us, because we keep bringing you educative programs like this, and most especially the Word of God, something that can liberate you as well. So please don't forget to connect with us across all our social media platforms and across all our handles that we shared with you. Just kindly follow the link. Thank you. I hand over back to the Madam Moderator. For the photograph, sorry, please, for the photograph, I would like us to kindly turn on our videos if we can do that. Wherever you are, if you can turn on your video, now would be a good time to turn it on. And it's time to get ready for a smile so we can save this very beautiful moment. And when careers kick off from here, we can always remember that, okay, this was where it happened. This was where I got inspiration from. It was in this meeting and all of that. So are we ready? I don't know what to tell us to say now. I don't know if everybody wants to say cheese. Do they still say cheese these days? Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Please bring on your cheese or whatever you want to bring on. Come on, I see gorgeous faces. And there you have it. It's captured. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Madam Moderator. You can take the floor.
Thank you so much. Lastly, we want to have the vote of thanks. And that's going to be coming from our president, Dr. Sam Abad.
Okay, so thank you everyone for participating. And thank you to all our speakers. Thank you, Dr. Shara, and the amazing work you are doing, Mom in Science and all of those things. Yeah, being an FRC part is not an easy task. I think we pretty share the same line of professionalism, basically. Hopefully our path will cross more in the near future. Thank you very much, Caroline, joining in from Kenya. Thanks so much for what you are doing for young people. I'm hoping to connect with you more strongly in the near future. I think there's a lot we can do together to salvage the young people within the African continent. Thank you so much for the sacrifice. And thank you My own colleague and friend, Dr. Chinomso, thank you for speaking so beautifully, and your impact in London Borough of Dagenham and Barking, and all of the health promotion that you do in the community, and also teaching young people and mentoring young people within the university circle is amazing. And thank you, Gloria. Thank you for an inspiring speech that you've given. Thank you for being a support in this whole thing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how we can develop IT skills among young people, particularly within the African continent, particularly the sub-Saharan region. And thank you, Ese. Not many people know that Ese is a mathematician, a very, very good mathematics lecturer. Thank you so much. And also to our coordinator, Barrister Princess. So if you have legal issue, please talk to Barrister Princess, okay? She has a record of success, even defeated senior advocates in court. Okay, we hope we don't have legal issues though, so we try to be very careful and put safeguarding in place as much as we can, of course, but sometimes trouble comes knocking. So if trouble comes knocking and you need a solicitor, so you can contact Barrister Princess. Yes, and thank you, all the church leaders and everyone that is attending here, and all the young girls and women. I will continue to support our women and our young girls. I will continue to stand up for equality. We'll continue to challenge all of the traditions and mindset that tends to suggest that a female child is lesser than the male child, or try to sectionalize and categorize certain professions for men. We'll continue to stand up against those things. And I want to appreciate everyone for making this happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night. Good morning.